A veritable cocaine tsunami is underway in France, a white wave that in recent years has engulfed the country, transforming entire neighborhoods, local economies, and even hospital emergency rooms. The French anti-drug agency describes a scenario in which no area is left untouched. From large metropolises to medium-sized cities to the most remote towns, the supply of cocaine is constant and widespread, with availability such that prices are plummeting and the drug is becoming accessible to ever larger segments of the population. Drug seizures have increased dramatically, indicating that the intercepted shipments are only a fraction of what actually arrives in the country. At the same time, the number of regular users now exceeds 1 million, with consumption no longer confined to festive occasions, but becoming part of everyday life, at work, while driving, and on evenings with friends. Behind this unprecedented supply are highly structured international criminal networks, directly linked to South American cartels. They are capable of importing tons of cocaine by sea, hiding it in the containers of cargo ships docking at major European ports from Spain to Belgium, from the Netherlands to Italy, and then distributing it by road thanks to precise logistics that exploit the highway network, unmarked vans, and unsuspecting couriers. France has become a key hub for this system, and criminal groups established in other European countries, such as the Italian mafia, have learned to forge alliances, divide the routes, and jointly launder the million-dollar profits from this illicit trade. Downstream from this river of cocaine, increasing violence is unleashed. Shootouts between rival gangs, ambushes in working-class neighborhoods, contract killings linked to the control of drug-dealing centers, and transit zones with precise fees to injure, maim, or kill anyone who interferes with their business. In many French cities, residents live under the threat of these settling of scores, with entire areas where the state's presence appears weakened, while clans organize security and debt collection themselves, imposing a sort of parallel law. Drug trafficking networks have modernized. They use encrypted messaging, social networks, delivery apps, and short-term rentals to transform anonymous apartments into temporary bases of operations, where the goods are stored, cut, and repackaged before reaching the customer via home deliveries that mimic legal services. The impact on the healthcare system is staggering. Emergency room visits for cocaine-related problems have more than tripled in just over a decade, with thousands of people arriving in the hospital each year for heart attacks, neurological problems, acute psychiatric disorders, and complications from the combined use of multiple substances. The typical patient profile is that of men in their early 30s, often polydrug users who combine cocaine with alcohol, opiates, cannabis, or benzodiazepines, increasing the risk of overdose and permanent damage. Some regions, such as the overseas departments and the coastal areas of the south, are particularly affected, both because they represent entry or transit points for trafficking and because concentrations of poverty, precarious employment, and mass tourism create fertile ground for drug trafficking. This white tsunami, however, does not only affect France. The entire European continent is being devastated by a flow of cocaine originating from the production areas of South America, crossing oceans and borders, exploiting the globalization of goods, and arriving in our cities, where it fuels a parallel economy of violence, corruption, and addiction, capable of slowly eroding the social fabric and seriously testing the state's ability to respond.